Good morning. Welcome to fraction day 11. Today we're talking about comparing fractions, so deciding which fraction is greater than, less than, or equal to the other fraction. So before we do the lessons for the day, we're going to do the word problem. And I already filmed it once and it didn't film, so that's why I already highlighted everything. But I'll read it again and then we'll draw the picture. Greg ate 2/6 of his sandwich. Janie ate 4/6 of her sandwich. Who ate more of their sandwich? So we know Greg had 2/6, that's why I highlighted 2/6. And then Janie ate 4/6. So then we're trying to figure out who ate more. So first I'm going to draw both of their sandwiches. Okay, so they have 2 sandwiches. And it's both of their sandwiches are split into sixths. So I'm going to split both sandwiches into 6 pieces. Okay. Now let's color in the pieces that they ate. So Greg ate 2 pieces. And Janie ate 4 pieces. Who ate more of their sandwich? So if I look at both of the sandwiches, this is how much Greg has left, and this is how much Janie had left. So Janie ate more pieces than Greg. So Greg ate less than Janie. Put their names. 8, and then this sign means less than, right? So Greg ate less than, right, less than Janie. So in the start of the lesson today, we're going to talk about the 2 different ways to compare fractions. So if the numerators are the same, look at the denominator. The bigger the denominator, the smaller the parts. So I have a fraction board today. And if all of them have the same numerator, right? Every single one of these pieces has a 1 on it for the numerator. But if I take 1/2, 1 over 2, so the denominator is a 2, and 1/12, so the denominator is a 12, 1/2 is much greater than 1/12 because I need to split up this whole piece for 12ths. So this whole has to get split into 12 pieces. So each piece is tinier because I need to fit 12 in there. But if I need to split it in half, I only have to split it into 2 pieces. So this one is greater than this one. So if we're looking at the bottom, the denominator, the smaller number is the bigger one. That's where it's confusing. So if I have 1/2 and 1/12, this one is greater than this one. So if I put maybe, so if I have 1/2, 1/12, and I get the greater than, less than, equal sign out. Let me find them. Here it is. So I need it to say 1/2 is bigger, greater than 1/12. If I do 1/5 and 1/6, 1/5 is this big, 1/6 is this big. So the 6th is smaller, so he would go over there, 1/5 would go over here. So 1/5 is greater than 1/6. Remember, the opening goes towards the bigger number. Same with, if I put an 1/8 here, I have 1/8, so the 8 and the 6. So this is wrong, I need to flip-flop it and say 1/8 is smaller, is less than 1/6, because this piece, if I line them up, is smaller than this piece. Okay? Then the opposite. So if I have the same denominator, so if the denominators are the same, look at the numerator. If the wholes are the same, the more parts of the whole you have, the bigger the fraction. So if I'm comparing 2/3, so here's 2/3, and here's 1/3. So this would be written like this, because I have two pieces over here, so 2/3 is bigger than 1/3, right? I have more pieces on this side. This makes a much longer line than this. So all of them have a 3 at the bottom, so thirds, so we're looking at the top number. This one has 2, this one has 1. So 2/3 is greater than 1/3. So this one, it is the bigger number that you're gonna say is greater, because where all the pieces are the same size. So let's move on to a couple more things for examples, and then we'll do our pizzas. Put these pieces away. Move this. All right, I have 2/6 and 5/6. So if I have pizza, which I do, that is split into 6 pieces. 2/6 of the pizza have pepperoni on them. Let me find my pieces I cut up. So 2/6 have pepperoni. There's my pepperoni. 5/6 have sausage. So sausage, 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 sausage. Which one has more? So which, are there more pieces with pepperoni, or are there more pieces with sausage? If you look at the pizza, you can see that 5 of the pieces have sausage and only 2 have pepperoni. So 2/6 is less than 5/6. Okay? Now we have one more, which is fourths. So 2/4, 3/4. So I'm gonna get my other pizza that's cut into 4 pieces. There we go. I'll cut it like this so you can see the whole pizza. And 2/4, we're gonna put sausage on. So there's 1/4, there's 2/4, and 3/4, we're gonna put peppers on. Maybe I can pick them up. Okay. So there's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So now look at the different toppings. Do more toppings have sausage, or more toppings have peppers? There's more toppings, or more slices with peppers than sausage. So 2/4 is less than 3/4. Let me fold this so it doesn't have a bunch of pieces in the way. Right? There's only only half the pizza has sausage on it. But this much of the pizza has pepper, 3/4. So this is a larger part of the pizza. So the 3/4 is greater than the 2/4. If I had 2/4 and 2/6, then we have the same numerator and different denominators. So let's put both pizzas out, because this is 1/4 and this one's 1/6. So 2/6 of the pizza have sausage, and 2/6 of this pizza have sausage. So if I look at my slices right here, does this have more, or does this have more? So even though this 6 is a larger number, this pizza, half of the pizza is covered in sausage, and in this one, only 2 of the 6, so not half. That would be half. So there's less of the pizza covered in sausage. So 2/4 is greater than 2/6. Okay, now you need to get out your notebook and some crayons so that we can make some examples in our notebook. Let me clean up my pieces for my pizzas because I'm going to need them later for the other activity. And pause the video until you have a page that looks like this, and they're going to be flaps. You do not have to color your pizzas. I just wanted them to be colored so they looked more like pizza. Okay. Now, we are going to make different pizzas with different fractions of it covered in different ingredients. So, my first pizza is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to be eighths. So some eighth are going to be cheese. And then some eighths are going to have pepperoni on them. So when I put cheese on my pizzas, I'm not going to put draw anything on them because the whole pizza has cheese. But some of them are only going to have cheese, and I'm going to put pepperoni on some of them. So I'm going to draw circles for pepperoni on some of the slices. I'm going to do 5 slices of pepperoni. So there's my pepperoni. And now you can color it in if you want. If you don't want to, I'm not going to be mad. I just think it's easier to see when you have the different colors. And I'm not making fancy pizzas, like I just drew circles for pepperoni. So now I can fill in the numerator for my fractions. How many pieces are just cheese? 1, 2, 3. 3/8 of my pizza are cheese, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 are pepperoni. Then under the flap, we are going to compare them. So use a greater than, less than, or equal to sign. So we have 3/8 and 5/8. So of the two, is there more pepperoni or is there more cheese? There's more pepperoni. There's 5 pieces of pepperoni and only 3 of cheese. So 3/8 is less than 5/8. Got it? Then for our next one, we're gonna put pineapples and peppers on it. Okay, so write pineapples and peppers, then draw those on. So I like to do like a little triangle for pineapples or a little squarish shape. And peppers kind of look like a C, usually when they're chopped up like a green pepper. But you can draw sticks if you don't want to make them look fancy. So I'm going to draw them on my pizza and then color them in real quick. I mean, pineapples are yellow, so maybe I'll put a little bit on them, but it won't really show up on top of the cheese. So I'm going to color my peppers. And my pineapples, yeah, it's not really doing anything, but oh well. Then we need to compare them on the inside. Oh, I guess I should write the fractions. So 1, 2, 3, there's 3 slices. So 1/3 is pineapples and 2/3 is peppers. So inside have 1/3 and 2/3. Now look back at the picture There's my peppers. There's my pineapple. Pineapple is less than peppers. So 1/3 is less than 2/3. Now, what other toppings do we have for the other thing? We have sausage and pepperoni. So I'm gonna do pepperoni. Now, some people like sausage and pepperoni on their pizza. So I'm gonna make a couple of these slices have both, because I can still compare fractions if there's more than one topping on a slice of pizza. I'll show you in a second how that works. So first I'm drawing pepperoni. Then I like to draw like flowers for the sausage so it looks different than the pepperoni, because they're kind of like crumbled up pieces of beef. And then for this one, I'm gonna put both pepperoni and sausage on it. And that's gonna be it. So let me color these in real quick so that you can see the difference between the two. So I'm gonna make it the red pepperoni and then brown sausage. So now for my fractions, I'm going to count the number of pieces that have sausage on them. So 1, 2, 3 pieces of sausage out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 6. So 3/6 have sausage. And now I'm going to count the pepperoni. So this piece has pepperoni on it. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces have pepperoni. So 4/6 of the pizza have pepperoni. I can still compare these even though one of them has both on it. We could even do another fraction for both, which would be 1/6 have both. But you can only compare 2 fractions at a time. So we're not going to compare that in the inside. We're just going to compare the first 2. But if you were writing all the fractions, you could make an extra fraction for that one. So we had 3/6 sausage, and then 4/6 pepperoni. So 3/6 is that much, 4/6 is that much. We have more pepperoni. So 3/6 is less than 4/6. And then for this last one, we'll do cheese and pineapple. And remember that I said when we talk about the cheese, you know how we said we have both on this slice? The cheese pizza is only when it's plain cheese. So when you order the pizza, you say cheese pizza. So only these 3 slices count for cheese, not the whole pizza. Does that make sense? Since we did both on here, you don't count these ones for both because they have cheese on them as well. The cheese in our fractions only counts for only cheese on it. So for the cheese and pineapple, I'm going to put pineapple on this slice and color it in a little bit. Can't really color it in, but I can try a little bit. So there is my pineapple. So I have 1, 2, 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4 of just cheese. And I have 1 out of 4 that's pineapple. So my fraction is going to be 3/4, 1/4, and 3/4. So this much is a lot bigger than that much. So 3/4 is greater than 1/4. And that is your fraction pizza. Sorry, I was a little out of the shot. So there are the 4 pizzas that we drew. And then here are the fractions on the inside. So pause the video if you need to look at them. And then we're going to talk about the very last thing that you're going to do today, which is the pizzas. So Fracciano's is a famous fraction pizza maker. He gave us some recipe cards, so you're going to need to cut those out. Or I guess you don't really have to cut them out, but I cut mine out. You're going to need your 4 pizzas. So there's one on this side, one on this side, one on this side, and one on this side. And I colored them in. Remember, you can color if you want to, or you can just leave them white. And then you need the answer key. Now, there's 16 questions. I only gave you 8. So I put an X on the bottom to remember that I only need to do this top 8. And then here's Fracciano's over here. You can color him in too if you have time and want to. Otherwise, it's fine with me if you don't. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a card. So this one's 6. And it says 1/3 cheese and the remainder, so the rest is sausage. So I need to find the pizza that's split into thirds. Okay? And then I cut out different toppings. So I have pepperoni. Here's the different toppings you need. Pepperoni, pineapple, sausage, and peppers. You can cut them out like this, or I don't really care what you do, so you can cut them out like if you just want to get construction paper or a piece of white paper and cut out strips. So I'll cut this out and color it red, and these can be my pepperoni. So I'll have just squares of pepperoni. That's totally fine. Depends on how fun you want to make your pizzas. But I made them look like the real toppings. So I don't need all of these right now. I just need sausage and cheese. Remember, I said the cheese just is the pizza itself with no toppings on it. But if you want to make pieces of cheese, that is fine. But if they get all over your house, you better clean them up like you would in my classroom. Do not leave them as a mess for your mom and dad to clean up. Okay? So 1/3 is cheese. So this would be 1/3. I'm not going to put anything on that. And the remainder is sausage. So I'm putting sausage on the rest of the pizza. So for number 6, I'm going to write on the answer key the answer. So 1/3 comes first because it's at the top one. So where did I put my pen? There we go. So 1/3 is cheese, and then 2/3 is sausage. So I'm going to draw the greater than, less than, or equal to sign. It's going to be a less than sign because 1/3 is less than 2/3. Okay? Then I will get a new thing. I just so happened to get another thirds. So I'm going to get rid of the toppings and make a new pizza. This one has 2/3 that are pepper. So I'm going to take my peppers, and there's 1/3 covered in peppers, and then 2/3 covered in peppers. So up here for number 3, I'm going to put 2/3 on the left, and then the remainder, so there's this much, is 1/3 that's cheese. So 2/3 is greater than 1/3. Okay? Then I'll get the next card. This one says 4ths, so I need a pizza that is split into 4 pieces, which I think is the back. Then I'm going to cover 3/4 of pepperoni, and the rest stays cheese. So you can do that. I'm not going to keep doing them for you, but I will show you that this one has 1/4 pineapple. So one of the 4 pieces is pineapple, and the rest is pepperoni. So you will have to put more than one toppings on them sometimes, and it won't just be cheese. So then I would write the fraction 1/4 here, and then the other fraction for the pepperoni here. So you need to fill in this whole thing to the number 8 and then turn it in for a grade today. Okay? I hope you like this one. I think this one's fun. And if you have a dinner this week that you don't have plans for, maybe you can ask Mom and Dad to make a real fraction pizza and send me a picture of it. Otherwise, you can keep making them with the paper. So that is all you need to do today. And I will see you tomorrow for fraction day 12. Bye.